Da-da-da. Hi! So, today I'm at the playground, and I would love to play actually and not be talking about stuff like this. But, oh well. Maybe in the future, when I move, I'll have plenty of parking. I can come and go when I want to, and I could make other videos. Hey, asshole Trump. Your son takes office? I'm gonna be brutal if I'm still around. Why is that? Because I fucking hate him. Why? Because he resembles everything I hated about being a human being.
Hi, I'm an office person. I'm a professional.
Daddy, daddy, daddy. Look. Jess. Look. Jess. And there you are. Suck it in. Suck it in. That's it. Tracilyn on the train in Troy, Ohio. We're gonna stop by 2 more places. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for doing it. So far so good. It's nice to see life at a park. I haven't been to one for a while. I'm looking at hopefully traveling a little bit this year to go to different places. One of them is going to be hopefully Nashville. I'm going to take God up on seeing if we can find Kenny Chesney and Tim McGraw's house. Let's see what their mortgage is. Was a home like that cost the McGraw family? What kind of mortgage do they have? Is it in their music deal? Is it? Because I'm sick of fucking seeing people on television. Here's my husband, here's my wife. Oh, we're going through a divorce right now. Yeah. It's kind of hard on us, isn't it, Faith? You fucking wench. Okay? I bet it is hard on you. But I bet you it's not as hard as it was for all the people out in LA who are living in tents with the next one beside them burning down. Oh, we all have it so hard. Hey, Joyce Myers, why don't you show Faith Hill and Tim McGraw how hard it is around the world? You know, because until you acknowledge how hard it is for other people, you shouldn't have anything to complain about at all. If you can't complain for the sake of other people, why complain? Well, you aren't willing to do what they did to do. You're damn right I'm not. Tell Faith Graw, tell Faith Graw, tell Faith Hill, Tim McGraw, I'll see you in the greeners someday. I hope that there's nothing left in your brain when you're down there. I wonder how they feel about it. That's what I'll ask them when I show up. I'll explain to them that God sent me a long time ago, 2010. I was scrubbing somebody's home. I guess God wanted me to know what it's like. Because that's the Tennessee motto. Volunteer for everything. Don't come down here for something, especially money. Especially if you have something to offer in exchange for where you know like you can take gold or a form of something that humans perceive as of value, and you can kind of, what is that? What do they call that? Convert it? You can convert it into something else that you want, like maybe American dollars versus Canadian dollars. Why are the different values there? Did you ever wonder that when you're traveling around the world? Well, it takes this many American dollars, in order to get one, whatever that is over there. And I would say that since the early 90s, when I used to listen to 90s music, country music, I never said once I want their life. I want my own life. And I sure as hell didn't want to be a slave to nothing except for my Lord. If you're going to be a slave for anyone, be a slave for God. All of it supports what I say. And God's been telling me for years, 4 years. But I got confused and I was thinking, hey Lisa, someday I'm going to have me a best friend. We're going to travel the world together and we're going to really live. We're going to have a nice home, a real nice home. Maybe not depending where we live, it might be the nicest home in the area. We're going to have lots of land. And when we have guests, there'll be plenty to do. If we're at home. We're gonna need somebody to watch the place while we're gone. You just can't trust the things that Joyce Myers talks about as a guarantee, a door that opens up for the Lord, Satan, and its helpers. All of these years later, Tracilyn's seen rock and rollers. They played in Russia. They played in Australia. Just like there's a whole lot of Australians that come over here and they play in America. Guess what? They're playing Tokyo. And they're playing Canada. Right, Shania Twain? Sure they do. And then you come down here from Canada and you play in Nashville City. Do any of you get paid? Huh? Do you have money? Or are you doing it for free? Because if you're doing it for free, that would really bother me on how the hell do you put gas in your vehicles to travel? How do you afford to get into an airplane of any kind, let alone a private jet? How do you afford to take cruises? How does Tim McGraw and Faith Hill get away on their honeymoon with no money? Is God just mysteriously good to them and nobody else? Should they feel guilty because of the life that they have, the quality of life, and all the money they do have? No. I'll tell you what they should feel, the entire Nashville industry, especially people who are imported from Australia, Keith. You better start praying to the Lord that somebody makes things right for me, and I have my own money, so I can do things I want to do. See, what's really cool is God has always told me you only need one chord. See, Jim Femino, one of Toby's friends, associated with Willie Nelson or something, he tells me in Nashville, NSAI, it all begins with a song. And you know what God told me in my bedroom when I was like 10 that I could say today? A song doesn't even begin until you pick up the guitar and you play a chord. Now surrender to the truth. Why? Because God can't come in and just do it for you, evidently. Well, could, but that's not God's way. God wants to be able to do it in words. Have you ever in a relationship with somebody like that, maybe a child or something, somebody, and you're saying what you're asking them, and it's what getting testy for you. Come on and do what I'm asking you to do, please. Or a dog. Come on. I know you can hear me. I know you understand more English than you're acting. Did you ever say that to somebody? I know you understand me. Now why are you blowing it off and what I'm saying? Did you ever end up going over and just give it to me and I'll do it? You don't want to hurt them, somebody you love especially. It's the frustration. I'm pretty certain that as we go through time, there's something that becomes very frustrated if we don't do what Joyce Myers would say, what we're told to do. But the problem is the total telling. You cannot stop being in the mental bondage of looking around your room when you were a teenager and knowing, I can't play like that. I'll never be able to play like that. And what would Joel Osteen say? You gotta start clicking your heels together like Cinderella, sweetheart. Get yourself a handbag. Because God might be telling you, you don't need to play like that to help them out. Anyone need a blowjob over here? Just kidding. Not today. I'm remaining pure before the Lord. The truth of the matter is what? We don't know what God's plan is for our direct lives. It's like what God has taught me in the privacy of my home. I can't give you the entire plan. In other words, we have to trust God. You have truth. Be familiar with what God, and that truth brought to you by God. Know the difference. And I'm pretty certain that we only need even just a portion of it, and away we go. Choices. So I made a serious choice, and I'm being honorable. I decided to record as much of my music as I could. Preferably, enjoyably. I didn't know I was going to be harassed and get burn marks. And does anybody down in Tennessee? That came from electricity. Most likely. You think it was microwave energy? I think they're sizzling my body. And for those who don't think that I knew people, I knew lots of people from central Pennsylvania, and I haven't talked to one of them. That's what really bothers me. Not one of them said anything in the line that I would be missing out on anything. I always understood you want you want a good life. Whatever that means to you. Not today, Joyce. Why is it that my dog ended up becoming my best friend? Why don't you talk to me about that? That God uses animals to minister to you. All right, we're gonna head on down here. I have 2 more places to look at. Am I looking at the camera right now? I tried to color my hair blonde, and that's what happened. A couple more times maybe. When I'm recording, I don't care for myself like I should because I'm more of a servant to recording, which can be quite challenging. And I'm looking forward to a season of not recording so that I can enjoy my life. Okay? My plan, if there was one, my hope, originally, was a disaster. Never, ever, ever in this lifetime ever connected with people, especially musicians. There is evidently a very strong force that is very dominant and will only let certain people of the earth evidently form together to sing. Joyce Myers puts the blame on you. Look, if you fucking assholes would be real, talk real. I know myself, my whole life, I wanted to do anything that I felt. I just wanted to feel like I was on the right train track. I'm not seeing results that say this makes sense to me. Did you know that I told people it doesn't have to be music with me? It could be a lot of different things. It could be something I don't even know about right now. And I felt very strongly that something was trying to get me into music. Yeah, and every time I do it, I got to do it by myself. And even worse, the mentality in Ohio is, why don't you do it for free? Why don't you show me somebody who was born and raised out here in the state of Ohio that has more major hit songs than I do? That I look at and say they're better looking than me? Huh? Come on. Well, that's just it. See, I'm not from Ohio. And anybody who had any kind of talent in Ohio, whether baseball or whatever it was, most of them moved to other parts of the country, you assholes. And then what? Then we live out here in the state of Ohio praising pretty much the dead or people from years ago instead of current. We're good at that, aren't we? That's all over America. We worship people instead of celebrate life today with others. I would say common culture says lost as shit. Okay? Why don't we have a Citizens Day? We have a President's Day, don't we? But who's the real president? Why don't we have a God's Day? Well, we have Christmas. And years keep reoccurring, the same thing over and over again. Alright, I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna listen to my video and then the subject over with. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm wrapping things up. I'm making phone calls coming soon to tell the establishments that warped my brain, okay, when I reached out to talk to them, or I was forced in their presence. I didn't want to be there. They didn't teach me the first thing I needed to know about what is the better way to get my needs met in a manner that says peaceful, in love, in alignment with what I want, Joyce Myers. Because if I don't get what I want, I'm coming to Missouri, and we're going to start with the Kingdom City. Is that it? Missouri. Hey Joyce, your ministry's out there. Why don't I drive out and you and I can stop by the hotel right off the off-ramp? And then we can go over and talk to the cops and ask them why they were the way they were at McDonald's. Think I'm onto something? Considering I was told my whole life, pretty much so, when I started investigating songs, going to seminars, cheeseburger salad. Check that out. So I was over there at the park in Troy, and I don't know if I ever rode bicycle down the trails here, but it kind of looks sort of familiar to me. But there may be, what, corporation of many of them all over the place. So, but it looks like a fun place to visit sometime, get some sun. Man, I miss it. I live at such a shitty location for my personality type. One of them is the sun hardly ever shines, and when it does, there's not much to do immediately in the local area, especially for somebody filled with life. Okay? Evidently, I'm supposed to come out here and learn to get along with it. Tell Joyce Myers I said, fuck you, skank. Check this out. I wonder if I can use some of my allowance money, you know, from the government. Don't you think it would be intelligent? We just give everybody who's on Social Security or disability, right, especially psychological. Hold on a minute. We want you to believe that it's all your problem inwardly. It's not what's connected to your brain with electricity, direct energy weapons, microwave energy, etc., etc. Ooh, listen to the song. Copyright infringement. I wonder if those assholes want to sue me in court for having it on my video. Right, YouTube? I'd like to take the songwriter of this, or whoever owns the publishing rights to this song, and smack you in the face. It's my right as a human being. It's not my fault that you contaminated my video with it. Take it off the air, then we don't have that problem no more. Probably some fat man on Clear Channel owns everything. Is that it? Okay. Because if somebody's copyrighted material ends up in your video, you're the one who should have your video removed, not them sued for contaminating your video. Who's gonna do that? I'll do it. Come on, listen to it, listen to it. I wanna sue you, you fucking fat hog. Copyright infringement, that's my song now. I've been listening to it my whole life. It's in my head. I ought to sue you every time it plays in my head, even when I walk away from here. I ought to sue you. Why don't we sue people? Huh? Like Mr. New Jersey. Hey, I'm New Jersey, dude. I served more people in your state the right way than you ever did with your singing. Check this out. Why don't you sue those fucking goddamn bastards for contaminating your brain when you're in a public space? How about I come here to Aquanet or whatever it is? Aquanet. Do they have, what, different events here where they have different music and stuff? Do people show up and sign autographs? Because I would have. Yeah, hey, Bon Jovi, why don't you take my idea and you and the band start showing up wherever there's swimming places and music playing all the time with your songs? Tell everybody, hey, in New Jersey, what's going on? And then you can sign autographs and hang out with them for the day. Come with the band Bon Jovi and hang out at Aqua, whatever the hell it is, in New Jersey. Is it owned by Trump? Because that's what I would have done, and I'm going to give Bon Jovi another one of my ideas. Because they want to tell you that what? You can't really live a quality life living like a moron does when they're signed to Sony or Capitol Records or whatever the hell it is. You got to keep the wheels rolling. Got to make like a big show today. We got to rehearse. We got to double check the laborers who set up the stage. Did they do an appropriate job? Are the lights fastened properly? We wouldn't want anybody to get hurt. Okay, so check this out. A Troy Aquatic. Aquatic. Tick. I was looking at Tic Tacs yesterday. Oh my god. For the first time in a long time. And look, check it out. See that? Aquatic. And what else did I hear? You need water. You think it was a computer message? So I need water. What I need to do is come here and hang out and see how long it's going to be when I put on a thong. That a cop's going to show up and tell me that it's inappropriate. Okay? Because everything about me is inappropriate. Hey, Joyce Myers. Hey, old lady. Why the fuck couldn't you teach me into something that I could live in peace? Don't tell me God did give you people, learn to get along with them. Why didn't you teach me into money and the importance of surrendering to the truth inside of your brain? You told me to stop being selfish with my life. Here we go. This message is for you, asshole. That's the most unselfish thing I could say. Is what? Be a witness to the fact that listening to Joyce Myers and taking her serious and applying her teachings leads to heartache, Listen to some of my songs. Listen to Personal Lake of Fire, Joyce. Huh? Do you know what that's inspired by? Me going to a gay church in Dayton, Ohio. And I'm not allowed to minister and do things the way that I would like to do right there at the church with others. Not by myself. Okay, you know what else that's about? That's about a man, a licensed pastor we don't want to go into the details about, and my conversation, which led to what? The first lines. It's absolutely impossible to live around those who condemn fools. The one thing I would have to say is this. If you surrender to the truth inside of your head and you try to be as Christ-like as you can with your household, with whoever you're living with at the time, because you absolutely 100% need to stay somewhere, or you would be homeless, having your ass kicked every day, especially by the cops coming by and saying, you can't stay here, you got to move it along. What do I move it to, officer? Huh? Mr. Boot. The United States citizens should take police around the country, and they have to be homeless for how long? For a summer? And then the homeless people have full permission, every one of them, including me, we have permission to treat the officers like they treated us during our times of homelessness. Is that a deal? Come on, taxpayers, you have a voice in this one. They're taking your money, and then they're going around and abusing people. Do you want to keep paying for that? Why don't I put on a swimsuit, a thong, and go walk by Huber Heights Police Station and see how fast, how many of them come out and tell me they're going to have to cite me? Evidently, oh, sin am I if somebody sees my ass cheeks. Do you live in an area that's perceived as extremely conservative? Then why don't you take all of your clothing off and just walk down the street and show them that, what, we're no longer conservative like we used to be anymore, because if there's one person in the city walking down the streets naked, then it appears to us that we've been exploited. Man, I'll tell you what, I miss going to places like this a lot. Not like this specifically. Because you know what? I realize I might be able to trust. Don't bring no valuables. Why? Because I'm alone. And if I go wandering off like a little kid, I may come back to, oh no, what did I do? What did they do? See, I never expected me to end up all by myself, Joyce Myers. The only way I can be around people is if they kick my ass and I kiss theirs. So the best thing for me, okay, is going to be what? Money. And why is that? Because most likely, like my mom told me years ago, that they done to a lady in her presence, I can only imagine what electricity is going to do to me over the years. So therefore, I should have a settlement. You want to electrocute me, I should be getting paid for it. Voila, sweet, loving person. Hey, it's sunny out. This is usually the time of year that I would naturally be doing stuff. And here I am, in the heat. I don't like farmer's tans on my body. Okay, screaming about the things that I have been going through for the last couple years. Why? Because it's true. Hello, hello, hello. This here is Tracilyn, and I'm at Hobart. Is that it? Hobart Arena. Oh my God, I just found out that there's a place that you can go swimming.